Hey everyone, it's James, also known as Flagman, and welcome to a Splatoon video. Several months ago, I asked some of my friends what they loved about Splatoon 3, and I'll be reading their responses, and I'll give my response to their responses. Here was the survey that I gave everybody I interviewed. 1. How did you first get into Splatoon? 2. What did you enjoy the most about Splatoon 3 and why? 3. What did you not like about Splatoon 3 and what would you want done if it returned in a sequel? 4. Name something you'd like to see in Splatoon 4, whether it has existed before or has never been featured in the series yet. And 5. Is there a moment in Splatoon 3 during either the update cycle or during Nintendo's events that you found to be the most memorable, and why? Now, due to how divisive Splatoon 3 was during its update cycle, I made some rules for the answer to question 3, so if you ask why something wasn't covered, this section will explain that. First rule, obviously, I cannot accept criticisms that compare Splatoon 3 to Splatoon 2 or 1, as the former I've only touched a hero mode and auto expansion, and the latter I've never played at all since I didn't own a Wii U, so it would not be fair to me to include those criticisms. Second rule, no easy targets. This includes stuff that has been frequently derided over the course of the game's update cycle, such as the map design, the handling of Splatoon 3 Splatfest, the online. Nintendo in general has always struggled with online. Mirror matches, for very obvious reasons that date back to the first ever Splatfest in Japan during June of 2015, and let's not get in a splatter color screen at all. 3. If the interviewee had multiple criticisms, they were to select one that stuck out to them the most. 4. No criticisms about not adding stuff that was either data mined or proposed and then reversed. League Battle, I'm looking at you, because we never got to see these plans go through with them. And 5thly, no criticisms that are basically nothing but nitpicks. This includes, it certainly does not limit to, weapon kits, abundance of shooter weapons, stage rotation, Squid Sisters' appearance and return of Mammalians, deep cut in general, including Anarchy Splatcast, the long wait time for side order, as with Nintendo games, there's no set release date, only target dates, Color Pulse 2024, no losing animations, challenge mode in general, complaining about side order not being long enough or not engaging. It was Nintendo's first attempt at a roguelike, so obviously they would not go all out, or claiming that the 2 single-player campaigns in Splatoon 3 are interior to auto expansion. This last one ties into Rule 1 as well, since it's comparing games. We want to showcase that this game is fun and that there's a lot of stuff for us that let us have fun, not people focus on upsetting and angering the potential newcomers to the series and turning them off. Anyways, let's get into the survey, and here are the 6 interviewees I had, their responses, and my responses to their responses. Alright, our first interviewee is Tentacle, and here was his responses. 1. He didn't watch the E3 trailer for Splatoon 1 in 2014, but he did watch its Nintendo Direct in 2015. And something about the quirkiness and charm of the game resonated with him, so he bought Splatoon 1 for his birthday, and here he is now. Sounds like he's been here since the early days of Splatoon. Number 2, he loved how much Salmon Run changed from Splatoon 2 to 3, and it felt more fleshed out. I enjoy Salmon Run as well, as I can get free ability chunks and other stuff, which 9 out of 10 times I almost never end up using. 3, there were multiple things Cole disliked about Splatoon 3, but if he had to pick one, he wasn't a fan of often he had to grind for the Salmon Fish scales. So I actually wrote this survey before they put skills in capsules, but yeah, scale grinding does take a while, and I'm in general a casual enjoyer in Splatoon. Number 4, if Splatoon 4 still followed the base of the first 3 games, Cole wanted to see a customizable base of some kind. If we got a different genre of Splatoon games, a turn-based tactical shooter like XCOM would be interesting. Now, a turn-based tactical shooter would be cool. I played Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Sparks of Hope a while back on my channel. It's a cool idea. And map creator is something that I would love to see Nintendo try out. 5. The most memorable Splatoon 3 moment for Cole would probably be the Fresh Season 2023 update when pools were introduced. That's when he thought the game and community finally came alive. I think a majority would agree with you on that. And the funny names out of the pools we got, for example, a friend of mine, when we did our Team Rice collab stream, we used the pool code JELLYTONA as a shout-out to the 4Kids translation of the first 8 seasons of the Pokemon anime. Our next interviewee is Mario8989. He got into Splatoon back in 2015 when he tried to bowl a test fire before the game came out. Another veteran I see. 2, the most he enjoyed about Splatoon 3 was probably the new weapons. I still remember when decavs were everywhere, same as any and all Kraken weapons for that measure. 3, there were a few things he didn't like about Splatoon 3, how you couldn't skip the news during a Splatfest. Yeah, that's a little odd, but then again, it would look weird if we had a text crawl during the announcements while the Isles are just dancing the night away. Number 4, something that Mario would want to see in Splatoon 4 is more time and console updates to fix bugs and balance out overpowered weapons. I think it has to be the first time Nintendo's trying a seasonal update, and I think that all we have to do is build upon the foundation Nintendo built with this game. And number 5, something that Mario enjoyed about Splatoon 3 update cycle was when a new season would drop and with them adding new weapons and maps. Yeah, even though I only got into Splatoon when the third installment came out, I do know that originally maps and new weapons would drop every week instead of all at once every 3 months. I really hope they stick with the latter. Our next interviewee is Subspace King. He first heard of Splatoon, the series, from the initial reveal during E3 2014, and it sounded like a cool concept at the time. What got him into playing the series was trying out a global test fire in spring of 2015, and he was hooked. This was the first video game in a long time to keep him hooked for an extended period, probably with the update cycle, despite the fact he barely had people to play the game with until near the end of Splatoon 1. 9 years later, the series still stands as one of his favorites of all time. So you must be a veteran of the series from the Wii U days. I'm not surprised by that. Number 2, what Subspace enjoyed the most of Splatoon 3 was the level of customization everyone as players have for their memes, such as the splash tags. There's badges, banners, tells, and even lockers to express ourselves more than just by clothing and matches. It feels more empathic compared to the past. Yes, the customization! I don't see a lot of people talk about this, and we have an endless amount of stuff we can use to make our own characters besides the clothes and hairstyles. The banners definitely have gotten some really cool things, from the badges to the backgrounds and the titles, and that locker room. I loved that, and the stuff we could put in, such as the Nintendo consoles, which were a pretty nice cameo. You know, something that Subspace never enjoyed was the pacing of the balance patches. Sure, the seasonal format is new, and he can forgive it to an extent, since it's Nintendo's first take on this as far as he's aware. But the problem for him was that the patches felt like they didn't do anything to change up the weapon balancing of how spread out. They were making it feel like next to nothing. Balance patch should be spice things up, according to him, and implement new ways to approach what is currently quote-unquote strong going into the patch. One thing you would recommend to developers is increase the frequency of these patches to like once a month to help keep the game balanced longer and keep player retention. I know that balance patches were much slower during Splatoon 3. We got them mostly during the beginning and the middle of the season, and I'm fully aware of the crab tank meta that dominated the first year of Splatoon 3. That is, using multiple splash-o-mags to chain crab tank. And who could forget Splatoon 1.0, where the main meta was 2 splash-o-mags for crab tank and 2 sloshing machines to kill enemy crabs. I can understand the frustration with how slow the balance patches came out. Hopefully they come out more frequently in Splatoon 4, but in the end, we at least have multiple different special weapons we can use in addition to crab tank. Now, number 4, something Subspace would like to see in the future is an option to trade currency with other players, like your friends. Some players have insane loads of money or king skills, yet have little to no purpose in using them as they have bought everything in the shops, and other players with rough luck with these rewards. So an in-game gifting system would help with friends acquire unlockables. Would be a cool feature to have. Yes! Yes! I don't know why Nintendo hasn't bought the bank toad for Super Mario Galaxy 2 back yet. I remember my sister and I would bank our Starbits and then using the Feet Hungry Lumas on the world map. I'd love to see something similar to that, albeit online. I think we can all agree Splatoon should integrate a trading system because it would be cool. And fifthly, a special moment that stood out to Subspace with the update cycle. While the balancing wasn't the best this time around, he really liked seeing the quality of life updates we got, such as pull codes and holding down the A button to speed up the results screen. The fact these got implemented at all helps both the experience and make it more accessible to players to play with others and not go through the friending process on the Switch and get more time in matches. I know many folks who were straight up thrilled when pools were announced for Splatoon 3 while I was in Europe during February 2023. It was a good game changer, and it's actually nice to hear about these quality of life changes I hear get added in, mainly because I've almost never noticed that stuff before. Next up was Photon Jet. He got into the series after buying the original Splatoon during its release, and it even came with an Inkling wig he used to wear every time he played it. Okay, that is awesome. I had no idea that it came with an Inkling wig. It must have been a pre-order, but that's cool, my friend. Now, the best part to him about Splatoon 3 was the wide variety of weapons and modes. It's started that the game has so many options to choose from, whether you're a competitive or casual player. Oh yes, I talked about this in my retrospectives, and if I recall correctly, the amount of modes we have is amazing. For Photon Jet, it would be nice if the main campaign was longer. It felt kind of short. Yeah, it seems like Nintendo learned their lesson with Cyber, but yeah, I do think Alterna is short, as only 4 levels are mandatory to beat. The first level, and the boss fights against Deep Cut. Number 4, he wants Twin Wipers in Splatoon 4. He wants to see players sword dance with them. I'm a little scared right now. I think 2 Splatoon is a little overpowered. And 5, for him this was a tough question. He isn't sure if this involves live events or Splatfest speedruns in general, but if he was to pick one memorable event, it's gotta be the introduction to Side Order. Yeah, Side Order was definitely an entire meal that I could devour and savor every single bite. Sorry for all the food puns. Next up is Splat Mike. He first got into Splatoon in 2019 after he had gotten Splatoon 2 for Christmas 2018 and seen amazing creativity done for the Octo expansion trailer, and he gave the game a shot joining the Splatoon community around May of 2019. Now for me, I didn't get Splatoon 2 until well after over a year Splatoon 3 came out. This was so I could start with a completely open mind and unbiased look. And I wasn't going to even buy the second game, but after the second Siren trailer came out, I played Octo expansion and later did a hero mode. Number 2. Mike enjoyed the Splatfest the most out of Splatoon 3 as it gave him a reason to play the game with amazing friends and cool creators he looked up to, and just generally have a good time. He also enjoyed the single-player campaigns as both offered a fun story with witty dialogue and great challenge inside Order and after Alterna. Yes! The Splatfests were some of the funnest of times because I get to play with friends, both old and new. But sometimes I wonder if the Splatfest started to become more of a chore rather than a fun time, as from April through September 2023, we had to hear from angry fans whenever Shiver won, as well as the subsequent 2 times Shiver did end up winning. And let's not even get into Fry's infamous year-long loss streak outside of Japan. Number 3, the only thing Mike didn't really enjoy in Splatoon 3 was the handling of Anarchy mode. Here is a little information you need to know. There are 2 sides to Anarchy mode, Series and Open, and he found Series to actually be handled rather well in its intention design. The main issue he had with Open was, yes, it allows you to play ranked with friends and still grow together. He likes that about Open. I would highly recommend the feature stay in future games. His biggest gripe is doing Open alone. Obviously, the main intention is to play friends, but the fact that you're able to play Open by yourself without a team puts you at a disadvantage against people who are actually playing with a team and practicing competitively ranked. It becomes an issue with casual and competitive fighting with each other, and often causes discourse in the community. As a casual player himself, he'd rather have it so Open can stay in its original function, but remove the option for people to play on their own without at least a duo. Okay, yes, he basically just wants League back because it worked. He's willing to incorporate with Open's function in Splatoon 3 was slowly contributing to your rank. Yeah, I would definitely like to see Anarchy mode better divided into strictly teams, strictly solo. Same with the other modes. If they could do it for Splatfests, then I don't think it'd be unlikely for the mode to be introduced across the entire game. Number 4. Something Mike would love to see in Splatoon 4 is definitely the introduction of a new playable character species to add more diversity to the already diverse world of Splatoon. Other than that, his main hope is to get more male idols like Big Man as they breathe new life into the game. I've seen those on Tumblr more than I can remember, the new species. Number 5. Mike found the Pokemon Splatfest to be one of the most memorable moments of Splatoon 3's lifespan, as it was the first special fest that appeared, and it gave a fun crossover theme that he was pretty balanced and fun for all. He ran into a lot of friends during this fest and made a lot of fun memorable moments on stream, and even got his first triple 3x battle, despite him losing it, but he did win his first 100x on Team Water. The best part was, because of the collab that created between him and 3 other of his friends, they created their own content called Skillshare, and although they weren't as active, all of them are still very close and are amazing friends with each other, and he wouldn't trade their friendship for the world. Yeah, I wish we had more collab Splatfests. We had the Legend of Zelda Splatfest, Japan had Baskin-Robbins sponsor the Ice Cream Splatfest, and Calbee sponsored the JP exclusive Potato Chip Splatfest. I wonder why they stopped. Alright, our next interviewee is Snow Jelly. Now, her sister showed her Splatoon, but she wasn't interested until she promised to play games with her. She got the game after the Idol Fest, and it was pretty addicting, and she never looked back. Oh yes, the Idol Fest from July of 2016, when Marie won and Kelly was carried hostage by Atarians wearing a skimpy outfit. Jeez, what is it with Nintendo these days and putting female Splatoon characters in skimpy outfits? Number 2. Jelly loved the lockers and the tricolor battles. It brings more creativity to the players and challenges the Splatoon universe as a whole. Those lockers were really awesome since we got some customization to World Splatoon. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we'll be getting apartments in Splatoon because, well, that would make the game a copy of Nintendo's own Animal Crossing. Number 3, Jelly will say Splatoon has its charm in trying out its firsts on this game, but she hoped with more variety and new things. If she were to say his biggest gripe, it was the choppy missing lore for the story campaigns. There's still so much missing, according to her, and to make good games, you need a good story to stay entertained. She thinks she'd rather have a better story mode with more exploration, or maybe missions for the nerd players. Alterna does have a good base for exploration, and I like how this time the sunken scrolls are hidden in the overworld rather than levels, but side missions wouldn't be a bad thing to add. I know many folks want a more story-driven campaign. Question 4, she'll love more Othling hair color and shades, and more unique accessories like the Othling earrings and dual eye colors. But didn't we already get those? Unless I'm missing something. And number 5, the most honorable thing for Splatoon 3, according to Jelly, was Sidor and the new form of weapons. It brings something unexpected and unique to the game. Once again, a lot of firsts for the franchise, and she hopes to have more new things for this imaginary world. Side order? More like a main course! Final interviewee is Skyberry, and here are his responses. Question 1. Way back when, during the era of the Wii U, he was a big Minecraft kid, so he actually didn't even know about Splatoon first during its liveliest. At around the time of release of the update in Aquatic, and a few months before Splatoon, 2 of his old Minecraft friends asked if anyone wanted to hop on Splatoon private battles, and he was like, "What's Splatoon?" Well, he ended up getting the game to try it, and that's when we fell in love with it to the point of later on making a YouTube channel around it, for many more reasons than one, but he'll stick with that for the question prompt, and his love for the game's music, especially the idols, leading to him finding stuff of Splatoon 2 on YouTube. At around the time of Splatoon, after finding out what Splatfest was, and he was hyped, so he ended up making a school-related deal with his parents to get the Nintendo Switch before Splatoon started. Then here he is around 7 years later. Yeah, I too used to be addicted to Minecraft. Maybe I should go back. And yes, I love the Splatoon Idols music. Why do you think we got Grand Festival in the first place? Aside from, you know, the Final Fest overall. According to Nintendo. Number 2, what Barry enjoyed the most about Splatoon 3 was a bit of a toughie, but he loved it so much, and he still hadn't touched table turf or Return to Mammalians. If he had to pick something, even though it's rather basic, he feels like he's gotten the most enjoyment out of big in-game events, Splatfest and big runs. They've always been fun and exciting for him, along with great music, and getting to spend time with all of his friends and getting a chance to meet people within the community. Absolutely. There's nothing more than being able to invite some folks over for the in-game events during Splatfest. Question 3, well, he's not really all picky and don't really have anything that he necessarily would hate, but if he was to choose something, he wished challenges had a little bit more of an incentive to play. He really loved the Crazy Beat challenges like the Modified Rainmaker or Sheldon's Picks, but stuff like everyone's only having to use the same weapon class or subclass was a little underwhelming. He knows it's most likely hard coming up with the really crazy challenges, but he'd love to see him return to Splatoon 4 with more crazy challenges, something like all Grizzco weapons, or actually all bombs only. Yeah, I've seen Alpha Star want to do something like that. A Grizzco weapon challenge will be both fun and evil at the same time. Question 4. Something he would love to see in Splatoon 4 was going to be a new ranked mode, like how all the ranked modes carried over from Splatoon 1 and 2, but with the addition of Clamplets being introduced in Splatoon 2, it would be really nice and refreshing to see a completely new mode. A new ranked mode? I'm not certain if the game can handle 5 ranked modes. I think 4 might be enough, but maybe they'll remove a game mode when Splatoon 4 comes out. And question 5, the moment that was most memorable to him personally was the announcement of the DLC. Having missed the Splatoon 1 Splatfest cycle, this somewhat was able to provide the experience he missed, getting to see Squid Sisters restore on stage, and getting to see Inkopolis Plaza decked out for the festivals in-game was surreal to him. Yeah, the Squid Sisters are awesome. Also, it's very nice we get to see Inkopolis Plaza again because not many people played Splatoon 1, and the Wii U Online is gonzo! So, this is the best we can get to the Splatoon 1 port on the Switch. Oh, that was the interview, and as you can see, Splatoon 3 was great, even if there were things that we did wish were improved on, and I'm looking forward to a future Splatoon 4. Well, that's all the time we got for this video. Thank you for watching my Splatoon free survey. If you enjoyed content like this, please subscribe and click on the bell to get notified about any future videos. And also, don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky, Instagram, and X, and join my Discord server with all links in the description. In addition, if you feel like it, comment down below and answer the survey yourself. And I'll catch you all in the next video. See you next time!